Welcome back, guys. This is the piano. I'm ready to introduce a dear friend of the show. So let's move to the piano to start the episode. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, guys, to don't miss many episodes on the Mr. Allen Super Show. If you love Mythic Legends, you know that somewhere in US there is an awesome photographer. And by the way, this guy, this artist, is the co-host of Legion Lounge. And you've watched many of his photos on Instagram. Because I'm talking about of my guest tonight, and his name is Nate Strong. You can find his amazing photo on Corona 4 EG page. So guys, please welcome my guest. His name Strong. Nate, for the first time ever, not the first time ever with you, but only with you, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I feel like this is the pinnacle. Like I've made it. If Mr. Allen sings a song about you, you've
finally
made it.
you are a part of the library of the show, along with many people, along with CB, along with Brian Flynn, along with the Hasbro J. Joe team, the Hasbro Transformers team, my dear friend Shartimus Prime, Pixel Den, and many others. And so finally I got you. I'm very happy because I follow your works, I love your works, and I love your show with Trevor. So welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor to be among such great company that you named there. So thank you. I'm super
I saw
honored
awesome. I saw in your awesome background your Mythic collection.
Yeah.
So tell me what is. Do you remember what I tried to have a better light in the show? Because when I had my friend The Amazing on the show, it gave me a little lesson to have a better light in the show. So I tried to put the lesson that it gave me. However, do you remember your first time ever Mythic Legends figure that you got in your life as a collector? What is All Star for you?
I do. Yeah, it was Atlas the Conqueror was the first one I got.
Awesome figure, a barbarian.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I had my eyes on him for a long time and just couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger and start yet another new line. But I kept looking. I kept kind of, I'd see Trevor's amazing pictures and I kept wanting to get him. And then I found him. He was actually for a really good price on eBay. And the tale is old as time now. As soon as I got one, it was, the flood dams opened and I went crazy.
Also because Atlus, I got Atlus last year, I believe in the late 2021, because it's one of the characters that I like, and one of the type of characters that I like so much in the league. And now it's not easy.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up on my end.
I was frozen.
Oh, now you're back, I think.
Yeah. Yes, because I watched also in the other device, but it's not the first time that I mentioned that. I have in Italy. Let's see if I'm. Yeah, works. No, yes, now works, I believe. You hear me?
You're doing good. Looking good. Smooth.
Okay. Because right here in Italy, we have, I call that a Jurassic connection because it's really slow. also because you have another device to control everything, but maybe this device lagging with the other. I put myself in.
That could be. Yeah, maybe narrow it down to one.
Maybe yes, I don't know. Maybe I need to because this device have another connection. But let's see. Now, if works, we can continue. Works, you can hear me well. Everybody,
You're
send me
good.
something in the comments, guys. So shout out also for the people in the chat. I saw some comments by Dave Orkin,
What's up, Dave?
Joe Gonsalves. Oh,
Joe, what's
let's
up?
see. 1-6
There he is.
shooter.
Hey, Trevor.
Star.
Star.
I believe
Mike
also
Casper.
Michael Casper. That's right. So back on track, and sorry for this Jurassic connection in Italy, but
No worries.
we talk about your first ever figure was Atlas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of the favorites that I like so much because I love Barbarian, this type of character. No, it's
Same.
one of the things that I like of Mythic Legions. But before to start to collect Mythic Legions, you was already first of all, in which year you got Atlas? So in which year you start with Mythic, and which other line do you collect before?
I got I got Atlas. I think it was May 2019. So that started my Mythic collection then. So 4 years ago. But prior to that, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Growing up, that was my favorite thing. Had all the original toys. Loved playing with those. So much like tons of people in this community, when Force Awakens came back out, that reawoken my love of Star Wars, and I got into Black Series, was collecting that big time. I was doing some 1/6 stuff. That's kind of how I met Trevor in the first place. I was collecting some, hot toys and Sideshow. Let's see. Then I got into Mezco, and then I was just kind of anything that would sort of catch my eye. Stuff that the more into photography I got, I would just grab pieces that I thought would come in handy for a shot. Not necessarily it was a toy line that I was into, but maybe I needed a police officer or whatever, so I'd grab the odds and end kind of thing, here and there. But yes, so since then it's mainly become Mythics. I've slowed way down on Black Series. Got rid of most of my 1/6 stuff, so it's mainly Mythic Legions, Mezco here and there. I've gotten a handful of Joy Toy 1/25th scale mechs lately that I'm really digging. But yeah, mostly Mythics and soon to be Cosmic.
Yeah, I read some comments in the same time.
Right on. Mike
There is
keeps
a
pushing
request.
this, man. I don't know. I haven't had enough vino.
Michael, I think the coming before the end of the show, Nate will sing. No, don't worry about it.
We'll see. We'll make him stick around.
I understand what is the problem with the connection. Now I got it. What is the problem? Because as I mentioned before the stream, no, I'm super busy, so I only right now download your photos, and when I download the photos, the stream goes frozen. It's the reason why. But I need your photos in the same time. So let's see.
Right.
Because so maybe I think I need to finish that. But during the moments to download your amazing pictures. So guys, don't go anywhere, because the shots that Nate pick for the show are amazing. Like to see a scene for a movie, super cool stuff. And,
thank you.
Tell me something about that, no? Because you're friends of the official photographer of the Mythic Legions, Trevor, no? So
yes.
You never wonder to be a second photographer for the studio officially? There is something. Did you dream about it?
I never did. I mean, Trevor, he's been not only a great friend, but he's been, one of the number one inspirations. Has helped me tremendously. He's been a great supporter and teacher, mentor. So I never even considered wanting to encroach on the amazing job he's already doing. So no, I know a lot of people, make comments like you should do this for a living, or I'm surprised this and that
Still
company
is
hasn't reached out to you. But to be honest with you, I really at this point I don't want to make it into a job. I'm super happy with being able to do it on my own time, in my own way, telling my own stories without having to please anybody else. So it's kind of how I
okay.
look at it for now.
Sorry for a minus because my girlfriend talked with me during the show. Click the button
Well,
here to
let's
open the
see her.
live.
Bring her
Yeah,
on camera.
that's one. You won't
Yeah.
see you. Come on, come on. She refused. Come on.
Come on, don't be shy.
Is she shy because she's not perfect with her makeup? No.
Okay, we won't judge.
So, now, I believe one day everybody you will know. But if you follow the channel, you can find some video that they did have where I forced her to be in the videos. Some unboxing, a stop motion with the foot fighters that I did with her. So she is in some of my stuff, but when she's not perfect with her makeup, she refused to be on camera.
That's all good.
But is a woman, is a girl that's typical of a girl, and they need to be perfect to be on show.
Yep.
So
I gave up on that a long time ago.
but I think you're looking good right there, like
Hey, thank you.
some type of actor, no? Like I remember Bruce Willis, this type of Hugh Renner, no? This actor that
I'll
is a
take it.
part of. They are more. I think that a guy that with this look looks like more macho man, no? For
I'll
the
take it.
girls sometimes. So you're
Thanks.
looking great with this look. I like that.
Appreciate it.
So let's do it. Let's take a look of your photos because now I download everything. So I create a folder and I want to talk about it to know some process of creativity when you do photos, inspiration, and stuff like that. I want to start with this one. So let's share it. There is also something for you. Star says, hey, Nate, considering your love of Star Wars, are you excited for CL? Is it something you're interested in regardless of any connection you have to the Legions community? It means Cosmic Legions with CL.
Right, yeah, sure. Star. Oh, 100%, buddy. I can't wait for Cosmic Legions. Yeah, like you said, whether I had a love for Star Wars or not, I still dig sci-fi, and I'm so excited to get them in hand and start fiddling and playing and shooting and yeah, see where that whole world takes us. That new universe with dios and props and third-party stuff. I can't wait, man.
And by the way, next week on this channel, on next week on Saturday, 25, 9 p.m., I will do with some customizer like Curtis Ackerman, Eric Miller, Eric LeBron, and maybe others. I will do a reaction of the Cosmic Legions wave, the right now still in progress, the reveals. So I will do that next week. Cool. Because I want to do a reaction with customizer of the community, of this community, to share my opinion, but also to know their opinion, because the customizer feel in love so much with this line, and also they maybe see the figures also this way in a different way, no? Than
for
a guy
sure.
like
Yeah.
me, I'm only collector. So
yes, 100%.
Next week, speaking of cosmics.
Cool. Yeah, you've named three of the best customizers, let alone people in the community. They're all super amazingly talented and some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah, but you are also one of the best photographer of this community, man. So
Well, thank you.
so let's talk about this amazing scene, and also because looks like a scene of a movie. So tell me something about the setup, the diode, the lights. What is your rule to build something like that?
Well, I'm trying to think a rule. Um, I mean, I just try to focus on telling a story the best I can, and this one meant a lot to me because it's based on four of my good friends here in Michigan with the "My Wife's Gonna Kill Me" podcast. Of course, these all these figures, were tributes to them. So I had fun setting up little, I don't know if I'd call them Easter eggs, but little props or things that sort of coincide with their bios and their personalities. So, for instance, the skeleton is Travis. He's known for sitting in a hot tub. That's why he's in a cauldron. Jeremy likes to have a good time, so he's got a pipe. The bull, that's based on Pete, who's the fire chief in Whitehall, Michigan. So I gave him a fireman's axe. And then Stephen there, the Lord Bushati, is kind of sitting on the throne like he's, the top G guy. But there's a something I won't go into, but something he mentioned about dogs. So I put a little puppy in there just as a nod, for the inside joke there. But the light behind the window behind them, that's a crash box window that you could just purchase alone. You didn't have to have that within their dial. So I built just a real simple dial based around that, and then I just try to play with lighting. I've got lighting coming through that, so that kind of is coming through the Mike's to have a good time. Yes, the window is adding some light down the center of the photo, and then I just added some some blue as if maybe some other windows or were off to the sides on each side, adding some sort of rim light there. And I like to get down low, when I can. Makes the figure seem more, I guess, lifelike or larger than life.
Awesome.
But yeah, the more props and things that you can put in, if that helps tell the story, 100%.
Yeah, and speaking of props and accessories, because right now I'm still working in a series. I did the three first episode of a project to build a Mythic Legion's castle, now right here on this channel, and
Yeah, I've
I
seen
start
them.
with the
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah is a crazy project because it's a long time consuming. I start almost 1 year ago, and I try to create something that is not only a dio but also play set with some action feature, a series
Hmm.
of tutorials that everybody can do the same thing, so maybe better than me. But I try to build a world also for my stop motion series in the same time. So is also part of a project of a RPG game with Mythic Legions, with my chess game with Mythic. So it's a ambitious project.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're doing a great job so far, and yeah, the size of that thing is it's astounding. I can't wait to see it complete.
And speaking of that, I have a question because I see something that I'm interested in for something that I try to build. So maybe you can give me some advice. For example, I see right now in this photo this beautiful throne. Where you got this throne?
That was part of a oh, what was it? Was it a Marvel Select? I think maybe
Ah,
um I'm trying to remember the figure that it came with. I just got it um loose on eBay, but
okay.
I'll have to try and I for some reason it's escaping. Maybe someone in the chat would remember. Um
Because I collab as a YouTuber, I collab with Diamond Select Toys, so I got
okay.
some box from them. So maybe if I understand which one,
Might have
which
been a
figure.
Doctor Doom or something. I can't
uh,
remember, but I'll remember it and I'll send you a note when I recall.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Because
so
I
I'm always keeping my eye out for props like stuff like that.
because the idea is try to build also the throne, because I already did the throne room coming soon. I will do also a video for that, but I still have to do also the throne. Maybe Joe says is a Doctor Doom throne.
That's what I think it is, but I would have to double check.
Oh, there is some request to a calendar with your photos, man.
That's nice. Thanks. Yeah, it's not the Conan throne, Trevor. No.
Because the idea is try to build by myself a throne with the so carving the XPS form and do
Yeah,
something also
I've
because
seen some people
everything
do. Yeah, amazing thrones with that. Yeah,
because you can see something right here in my back. There is some pieces of the six
yeah,
feet eight wizard tower that is still work in progress. No.
it's amazing, man.
So when I did the video for that, I looks like short because I'm 6'4", but I looks like shorter than the top. So this is what another things that I'm interesting. Speaking of my project that you put in the photo is this like a prison door, cell door. There is on the right, yeah, near right here. Let's see. This
Mm.
one is a
Oh,
is a,
that's
what
like
is it?
it's actually a weapons rack.
Okay, because like
Um,
that looks like a door, a cell door. Looks like.
okay, yeah, it kind of does, but yeah, I can show you real quick. So yeah, that's this.
Okay, yes, is the Mochu rack?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I have. I don't remember because I have the Castle Grayskull, the classic one. But maybe I have that one, but with only the original one with the stuff to put together the weapon. But
Gotcha.
let's see another of your artwork. Oh, this is Valak. He's a part
Yeah.
of my family. You know that I live in the night.
Right.
Before
Yeah, for sure. I
before
love
to
this figure. Yeah.
we are in the vampire side, no? So just a fun little story. In last few days, I have some stuff to do in the morning, so I sleep 3 hours by day to do something in the morning and work on the channel also in the night. And yesterday, I go to sleep at 5 a.m. I thought maybe close to the 1 p.m. I will wake up. No, but because I was so tired, I sleep 12 hours, and as every day I
Wow.
wake up with the sunrise, not with the sunset. Because in general,
You are a
like
vampire.
Balak, I go to sleep with the sunrise and wake up with the sunset.
Do you sleep
But I
like
like
that?
these pictures, man, because looks like a scene from some Dracula movie. I like the light, this torch. I like the also this beautiful entrance bed on the back. So give me something about your inspiration to build this scene, because I think in a photographer like you are a guy. You are also like a director because actually you built a scene, no, not
Y-
just a photo. Tell me something about it.
Yeah,
It's
I think that's a good way to put it. I guess in my head I am sort of a director, and yeah, and these are all my actors, that you're setting up on a stage or in a movie scene or something. So yeah, the background is actually the same exact background that was in the previous shot you showed. It's just,
oh really?
slid over a little bit to have that opening there. I still need to put a door in there. I've been saying I needed to do that for like 2 years, but yeah, the torches are from Carver Customs, Brian Lynn, and I think I picked up all those at last year's Legions Con. So it helps when you put stuff like that in a scene, so then you know for sure where light is coming from. Which kind of, then it just sort of solves a lot of problems. So you try to kind of set up some lights to reflect, that they're coming from those torches, and then you might need to bounce some light in to fill in some of the darker areas. So, yeah, I just felt like, this guy's going out at night, like a vampire would, and he's sending the Falcon off to hunt for a meal or do some scouting or something.
What is the secret to? Because when I watch this, I looks like to feel that there is a real light in this torch, and the balance with the shadow. What is the secret to have a good balance for the light in a pictures like this one?
Yeah, I think having contrast is a good thing. Light and shadow is really a neat way to pull in your eye to where you want the viewer to look. And in some cases, like I want to say for this photo, I may have taken a couple pictures and and having and kind of doing some layering, but I think I might even experimented with holding a lighter up by the torch that's close to his face to simulate real kind of a flame effect. I didn't end up going with that because it didn't match the other lights I had. But yeah, I think shadows, light, contrast, that all of that helps make for a good photo.
But the dio, you built the dio, but there isn't the scene. Is that your dio?
I did build the piece in the background that's underneath the archway is one I did get in a trade. It's a really neat piece, and my stuff's my dial works pretty sloppy, so it works for a background that I can blur.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even the stuff you've shown is a lot better than this piece, but it works fine. Like I said, for a background piece that's kind of blurred out. The
Yes,
ground that he's
looks
walking
good.
on there is, it's like, I forget, I don't even know what that is. It's like a rubber mat I found at a hardware store that looks like dirt. I don't know what it's for, but it serves a perfect purpose for toy photography. I've used that in
Absolutely.
a lot of different shots. So yeah.
Let's see the next one. Oh, this one is another beautiful shot.
Thank you.
I like also the fontaine. No, I believe is the say. I should say is right. Says fontaine in English for the
Fountain.
fountain. Okay.
Yeah.
The come on, my pronunciation is really bad.
No, I mean, you pronounce it like it's spelled. English is stupid, so it's easy mistake to make. Yeah, this was another piece that I picked up at Legion's Con by Alex Drunk Gizmo Customs, and I'd been wanting to shoot this since I got back in November and finally got around to it. And I guess I'm always just waiting until the right kind of idea kind of pops in my head. And this was a figure. Trevor had a couple of these on top of his dio, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, dude, what is that? And he was super kind and generous to gift me that the helmet, the head sculpt there, and I just basically copied his pop and swap figure. But yeah, I just felt it was a neat kind of nighttime story that he's sort of going to contemplate. He finds himself at this fountain, sort of on the eve of every battle that he goes out and thinks, what's going to happen tomorrow? Am I going to come back alive? Are my brothers in arms are going to come
I
back?
like the backstory about it. No? A moment of
Yes, he goes. So he's reflecting, which is kind of like you have a reflection of the water there. So I guess it all sort of fell together. But this was something too that was I did shoot a couple different ways. I put a light down in the bottom of the fountain to reflect up on him.
cool.
And then I took another photo with it. I took the light out, obviously, and then I blended them together. So it kind of gives you that moonlight reflection off the water and bouncing back up on him look.
I like the idea also because water, fire. When you watch a fireplace or when you watch a river, a fountain, or also just a fall in the river, no?
Yeah.
So, because where I live, for example, I live in the nature, no? There is a castle, there is a forest. If you saw some shot that they did in my Mythic Legion song video, you can see ruins, castle. Everything that you see is around where I live. And there is a river, no?
Nice.
And the water give you the time to reflect, no, to think about yourself.
Yes.
The moonlight also as well. So you built an awesome environment, also emotional environment to explain this concept of meditation. No, it's
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
like
Thanks.
that.
Yeah, and I just added a nice warm light behind the fountain off to the left there to kind of reflect in. So like you said, there's sort of the fire and water, but the warm light and the cool light, sometimes I like mixing those up together in a shot.
There
So you can
is a
imagine
question.
there's a torch or a flame or a fire off to the left back there.
Awesome. Also, I like that. It's like a scene of a movie once again. But there is a good question by Star for you. For you. So now I read with my bad English. Mostly, do you get the concept in your head first and then seek out the parts, or do you have the parts already and compose around them?
That's a great question, Star. I think it's, to be honest, a little bit of both. Um, yeah, sometimes I'll think of a concept and then I will have to go seek out props. What's up, Eric? And other times I'll, have props sitting around and I'll just catch one out of the corner of my eye and I'll think, oh, all of a sudden, hey, I should use that. I'm gonna post up a picture probably this coming Wednesday. That was it's built around a piece of food, a food item in my kitchen. And my son even said, I go, where do you come up with this stuff? I go, I saw the word on the box and instantly the image popped in my head. So I've had them sitting in a little baggie down in my studio for weeks, and I finally got around to shooting it. So it's a little bit of both, Star. Yeah. Inspiration just hits you in odd different times. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's lyrics to a song, sometimes it's a scene in a movie or a comic book, or I know I've been inspired a ton by the great work on Instagram from a bunch of other photographers. So it comes from all over the place.
So let's move with something is really cinematic, also because I like Tim Burton. He's one of my favorite director. I like his styles because when you recognize the styles, that means that that artist has a personality. And this subject, this character from the figure obscura line, is
Mm,
already a part of a movie of Tim Burton. So let's take a look
yes.
at this shot.
Headless Horseman. Yeah, see, that's that same rubber dirt mat that I have in that Valak shot is here. Just a couple simple fake grass mats off to the side. Some sort of the fencing I got from a customizer in Canada. I made some trees, and that background I use quite a bit. It's actually it's like a cloth background that I think was made for, like, if you have an atrium or something, or like a lizard cage or something that you can put behind it to sort of fill out your scene. So it's nice because it's not a screen, that I have to worry about light reflecting on. So I use that quite a bit for sort of the forest type scenes. Yeah, and I just, and then of course the figure obscura, Headless Horseman, and Horse are absolutely brilliant pieces by Four Horsemen. So yeah, loved it.
Kevin Boots, you're right about song lyrics are ideas,
For
but
sure.
also subject for novels, same things. No, the creativity is something that come up in yourself, and maybe many times you don't know why. You just feel this idea, and you follow this idea. No, it's something that come up in your in your in your day, or maybe in the night. It's not sometimes not a
Yeah.
real reason why, behind it.
Yeah. And I used to, years ago, I was really into 1/6 stuff. And after a while doing that, your brain starts to sort of think in that scale. And sometimes you just see something, you're like, oh, that would make a perfect 1/6 scale, whatever. And now it's shrunk down to 1/12 scale, but it's just something in the back of your mind that, to me, it's kind of always present back there. And, seeking out things that, again, it's for inspiration or props or whatever.
Tell me something about the name that you put as a photographer, Corona Four. What is the story
Yeah,
behind it?
that's funny. I thought more people would ask me that, but I've only had like 3 people ever ask me where that name comes from, and only one person knew exactly where it came from. So again, it goes back to my Star Wars love. There's a book called Lost Stars which is I'm not sure how old. It's not that old of a book, but it's a Star Wars novel, and it's one of my favorite. I haven't read a ton of Star Wars books, but I've read a few, and that was one of my favorite ones. And one of the main characters in that book joins a squadron of X-wings. He's in an X-wing squadron, and the squadron name is Corona. So just like Luke Skywalker was Red 5, this character's designation in that squadron was Corona 4. And so that's where my name came from. Super obscure. And, it came before, coronavirus. And then that came along. And so I thought, I don't know, am I going to have to change my name? Now I'm like, associated with a pandemic, but it seems to be okay. Yeah, so I've stuck with
also
it.
because now the
And now
pandemic
for Corona
is
beer.
done.
So, yeah.
I think the pandemic now is done. It's not like 20 years ago. Finally, is done after this.
Yeah, and it seemed to
years.
became more known as COVID than Corona.
Yeah.
Thankfully. So, but yeah, that's where my name comes from.
There is a question by Laura to you. She says, "Hey Nate, do you have any of the Joy Toy Warhammer figures?"
I do not. Right now, the only Joy Toy ones I have are the mechs, 125th scale mechs. But I mean, the Warhammer stuff they make is absolutely brilliant looking. I drool over it all the time. I do drink Corona. It's a good summertime. Drop a lime in it and have at it. But yeah, that had nothing to do with the name.
You sometimes drink Corona, but someone
be a lot more than 4.
Yeah, sometimes someone drink blood, human blood, like myself in my mug, but also with the protagonist of your next photos.
Good segue.
So tell me something about this beautiful picture.
Yeah, again, I mean, the pieces just came together. That throne was just made perfectly for her, I felt, and then the goblet was, I think it's a My Action Figure custom piece, and some torches kind of came in, and it just sort of all kind of came together. And I think the pieces on the left, those brass looking things, are the tops to lamps that we're throwing away. And they just, again, your mind thinking in 1/12 scale. I'm like, I bet those will come in handy. And they help kind of fill out a scene as just some sort of table, ornament or decoration or something there. So, and yeah, I just absolutely love the sculpt. This figure is gorgeous, and more of a portrait. I mean, you could just shoot portraits all day long of Mythic Legion's figures. They're such gorgeous sculpts, and they take light so well. And this was no exception. Yeah, I like this shot too. Just the vibe of it. It's nice and kind of spooky and eerie, like she is.
So 2 questions about it. The first one, where you got the throne, and the second question is, what is the secret to, if you can put together something of the process secret to good photos like this one, no? The light are really good. Once again, it's like a scene from a movie. What is the secret to do something good like that? Me, for example, when I try to do the thumbnail for my reviews, etc., I'm really bad. Also because I'm honest with you. Because I'm super busy, the photos, sometimes I do the review. The Mythic Legion review is one of my favorite review to do, by the way. I do the review and then, I forgot to do the pictures for, maybe I need to rebuild the set for the previous review because I totally forgot that, no? Because maybe, because yes, to do stop motion, you need to have a good patience, not to stay right here and do, but it's different. Photos, you need to stop everything and now I looking for that, no? So you need to time to don't think about what is next to do, because every time I do many reviews in the same time, no, to be able to also to editing everything, no. But what is the secret in general to do a good photo that looks like realistic, also with with action figure, because this one, for example, but also this is something that I recognize in every your pictures right now so far, that you put a good realism in your art. No, what is the secret to get these feelings?
Again, I don't know if I can impart a big secret. I do. You did touch upon taking your time. When I first started in toy photography, I rushed pictures because I sort of had to. My wife, I didn't have a studio, and so I would have to set something up very quickly, take a few shots, and then take it down. And plus, I felt in the beginning too, like, yeah, that does help. Um, I felt like I had to be on a schedule, with Instagram and which, chasing likes and follows and things like that. But now I take my time. I think, I don't know if it's a secret to success, but I would encourage people just to experiment like crazy. I really, a lot of times I come upon a lighting or a setup almost by mistake, just because I keep trying different things. I can't, I can't say I know exactly what I'm doing and I can set something up and it's going to be perfect right out of the gate. Sometimes it is. Sometimes I get lucky and I only take a couple shots and I'm done. That's good. But Trevor again. Today's a perfect example. I don't do this often with him and Bill, but I was sending him a few pictures throughout the day today, just because I did have the time. I didn't have to rush to do a setup, and I didn't know if I quite felt confident or like I'd gotten the perfect picture or not. I would never say perfect, but one that I was satisfied with. Um, so I did send them a handful of shots and asking their feedback on them, and they're always gracious to share. Um, but yeah, experiment and just play around, try around different things. Go to YouTube University. It's great. Look up simple things like portrait photography, product photography. You can learn, you'd even learn stuff by watching videos on landscape photography. You wouldn't think maybe that would translate to something, you're shrinking down to action figure size, but you're always picking up stuff. Motivational light is a term I've just recently learned, which means, those torches, for example, or the window, or if I'm using a background from like a photo that's on my TV screen and it's got a moon or a sun in it, then that's where that light's coming from. So it solves a lot of your problems to set up a light to reflect that, that's where that light would naturally be. So it's just, again, it's experimenting, just trying different things, ask questions, reach out to people. There's a ton of great people that are willing to help, and share some of their tricks of the trade, I guess. And yeah, just have fun. We're playing with toys. It's the best part.
So let's see the next one. Something with something big in the background. I mean, both of the tower. Tell me something
Yes.
about it. Is
This was
another.
fun. Yeah, we were doing. There's still a group of people that do Sunday night, Monday morning, depending on where you are in the world. A myth and fantasy toy pick. It's just sort of a group thing. It's a hashtag. Anybody's welcome to join and do it. But usually it's just a random photo, and it's a fantasy genre, and it's usually mostly Mythic Legion based. Um, and every once in a while we might have a theme beyond it just being fantasy. But last year we started with I think it was like we're doing a month at a time, so we tell a story through like 4 consecutive Sundays, so 4 photos. So that makes forces you to think in a little bit different way. So instead of a kind of a one-off, you might, in this case, I was building a story and I wanted to build a group of characters, sort of that that fantasy kind of team. So a knight, and the fox and the both are the tower there, and of course you have to have the pretty girl, who's a badass, also going out. But again, this was another setup with that same window that was in the first photo you shared, so we know that that's where light's coming from. And then I could see, say for instance, there might be another light or a window that's off to the left of them that could be shining some light in a little bit too. and just some props. I printed off that map, on my home printer, and kind of took a lighter to it and singed some of the edges. So just kind of filling out a scene and working on your composition and your posing. Those are some other, I guess, secrets, if you want to call them, things to really study and consider in your photography. And again, that's stuff I've learned. It is a shrunk down version of the map of Mythos. Yes, Star, that's exactly what it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I think was the first photo in a group of 4 with these characters, and it turned out it was my favorite of the bunch, and I still like it. I just like seeing these 4 characters together. I just think it's a neat kind of party of people,
Awesome. Let's see the next one. What is, for example, because now it looks like that this book fly in the photos. What is
Yeah, it's like
the
it's levitating.
trick to do that?
Yeah, so that was I just had it on a wire that I just removed in Photoshop after, and I added the symbol to it, the Paxa symbol to the
Yeah.
book in Photoshop, and the a simple app did the little glow on the end of the wand there, which I think is if I remember right, it was a toothpick that I just added some brown to. So and again, filling out stuff with props, those skulls, the the little jars I just added with food coloring and water, just to kind of mix up some like potions, and
And
yeah.
when you do a photo, for example, no, how many how many shots you do, and also what is your work in editing in the post production, if you can call that?
Again, that totally varies. I mean, like today, again, for instance, I probably took, I bet, between 50 and maybe 70 pictures of just this
Wow.
one simple scene. And I moved the characters slightly, played with the lighting a little bit. I have this little, it's like a car. It's supposed to be like a car mister that you can
Yeah.
put like I don't know, essential oils in or something. I don't know, for your car, but you just put regular water in it and it just mists and it adds fog. So Trevor
Yeah.
knows, he's big on the fog stuff, but that can change up your lighting dramatically. So you take a bunch of pictures to get the right mix of that. So some days it's it could be hundreds of pictures. But the other day I took a picture of the land speeder that was kind of a play off of the Dukes of Hazzard, and I took four pictures. That was it, and I was done, and it just worked, which is super
Cool.
rare. Usually it's way more.
So you need to check every pictures, every shot that you did, before to choose
Yeah.
the good one.
Yep. So I'll
So
download them off my camera and then go through them all, and I'll select a few that I like, and then if I have to do some layering, I'll bring them into Photoshop. So you're talking about my post production. So I'm not very versed in Photoshop enough to know the basics. But I go in that, and then I'll bring it onto my phone, and I've got the stripped down version of Lightroom on that, and then a handful of apps like the Lens FX apps. I think it was a kind of a bundle I've got years ago, which is great for adding things like little starburst or shines off a shield or a sword or something like that, or even a sun flare in the background. I think I sort of used to rely on those too much, kind of like a gimmicky thing, which I've backed off of a lot. But yeah, I don't spend a ton of time post production. Just contrast, brightness, just warm or cool off your photo.
I think also just pick the good one in 100 photos is a big to consuming time process, because you need to watch every photos.
Yeah,
Is okay, maybe, or maybe the selection is this could be good, this one not good, maybe. So you need to do a selection just to got only one from one, like a
Yeah,
casting, no? When you go to a
exactly.
casting.
Yep. And I mean, thank God we have digital photography makes it easy. Like I remember when I was a kid meeting a uh, um a wilderness or photographer and talking about doing the same thing, taking hundreds or thousands of pictures to get that just perfect shot of an eagle taking off or whatever. Back then it was film. You had to develop your film, or can you imagine that? Like going through all those and throwing them 99% of them away.
And when you start to shooting photos, when you discover your talent, you start to do that.
When?
When how many years ago? When you start to do photo?
Well, I liked photography as a kid, like teenager, real like middle school maybe, and I did like doing landscapes and nature stuff like that. Wasn't any good, but I enjoyed it. Um, but I didn't start for toy photography until 2016, I think, and photography and really getting into photography and learning more about it. Until I discovered that toy photography was a thing. I had, it was just from being on Instagram, um, trying to be a good dad because my daughters were on it, and I felt like I got to keep an eye on what they're into, and then I felt like, well, if I'm gonna, be on Instagram, I might as well have an account, and then I, found people were collecting toys and taking pictures of them, and like, God, that sounds like fun. So, and here we are.
Cool. So you start to be a toy photographer before to collect Mythic Legions,
Yes. Yep.
and you actually today you do also photo for other content on only toy, or especially only action figures.
Just my Instagram stuff. I mean, when my family goes on vacation, we'll kind of, now we all have our own cameras. We used to wrestle over one of them, take turns, but and again, it's mostly scenic stuff that I enjoyed. Whether we've gone kind of out west in the mountains or made a family trip to Ireland before, and loved photographing the scenery and the castles and stuff like that. But beyond that, no, I don't do any other photography, street photography or portraits or anything. It's just strictly action figures.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's take a look of a big action figure with some flame. Let's see.
Yeah, so that's the McFarlane dragons from Game of Thrones. And obviously they don't scale to mythics, but I felt with a troll like he could almost have like this small pet dragon that he's kind of holding in the palm of his hand. And again, just knowing I wanted to add flames coming out of his mouth, I just lit it to underneath its wing there and on the hand there, as if flame was there in the photo, which obviously wasn't. And then I just put that in with a simple app in post-production, and that was it.
So the flame, you put the flame, you add the flame in post production.
Yeah, and that was just with an app. I didn't do that in
It
Photoshop or
looks
anything.
looks really good because the proportions are perfect. Also, if you see with the mouth of the dragon, no, the
Yeah,
size.
you can affect you can sort of edit the effect, blur it or brighten it or whatever. So that helps blend it a little bit. But I mean, it's made it easy. And I guess one of those things where I just kind of got lucky that it worked.
Cool. Let's see. The next one is, speaking of dragon, this is the future Mythic Legions dragon. This is a spoiler. Come on.
Yeah, sneak peek, guy. This is an exclusive, Mr. Allen exclusive. So this was my attempt to obviously make a dragon in scale. And I just shot them both at the exact same kind of focal length, but against a black background, so I could manipulate it in post. So this was a little bit of work. Aren't you a little too old for this stuff? Right. Heck no, Star. I'm 12 years old still, buddy.
Also, because I need to say something about it, because the artist, especially, save the child inside, because the artist has are able to save the child. We are able to save the child inside of us, also because without that you can do art, because the art mean to be always surprised by something, surprised by everything that maybe the a normal guy don't watch, doesn't see, in general.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the secret of an artist: save this part of him. And also because if you're a collector, is a good way to find sometimes an escape to the problem of the life, because
Oh,
the life is
100%.
tough. No, the life is
Yes.
tough. We know that. Also, especially if you're yeah. Now I talk a little bit by myself. If you are an artist and you try to transform your art in a job, you will be in a difficult way, because it's not easy. Everything you do is so difficult. You go up, you become, for example, famous, and you can lose your fame, your celebration in a couple of years. You can become nothing, and you need
Yeah.
to rebirth, die and rebirth, many like the phoenix,
Right.
I did a song that was in Italian. The title in English is "The Fly of Phoenix."
Mm-hmm.
That means the life of an artist. Sometimes you die because everything goes down, and you rebirth to find a new way, a new way to do something, because you can live without your art. But that means also that to be an artist, you need to be also a child, but more wise than a normal guy. Because be wise is also still a child in the life. Could be something that difficult to believe, because something little bit against each other. A child can be wise. Only an old man can be wise. Only an old man that says, "I'm really wise because I live so many years," but it's not really that the real things. No, the real things is save the child inside of you and try to have an open mind to live, and try collecting toys, especially when you struggle with something, is a good way to find a safe escape sometimes,
Yeah.
because you find once again the connection with your child inside of you. And these action figures, especially, I don't think that every line is in the same level. No, some
Right.
figure looks like more toys, and other figure like Mythic Legions, for example, they are more piece of art, not because of the quality, because of everything.
Yes.
For example, because of Mythic Legions, I start to build story for stop motion diorama. Yes, you need to have the time to do that, because, for example, if you decide to be a YouTuber, no, as a professional, you be in trouble once again, because it's something difficult, no. So, but in the same time, you try to do something that you love. So it's speaking of balance, but you can do that only if you still child inside of you, no.
Yeah. Yeah, you speak the truth for sure. I mean, you touched on a bunch of things. I mean, yeah, the childhood keeps your imagination. That's a great thing that you don't want to ever lose. Um, and in a wide open imagination, like you said, you keep your mind open. You're not too restricted. You try to let the sort of the cynical part that you sometimes can't help get to be as you grow older, because you've experienced so much crap, I guess, in your life. But yeah, if you keep that childhood imagination and open mindedness and creativity open, that's a wonderful thing. And yeah, this is 100% an escape. It's I work for an advertising agency on the creative side of it, and where my job is to be somewhat of a storyteller, but I've got clients and bosses and budgets to answer to all the time. And so, like I think I was saying earlier, with this, I can tell my own stories, and I don't have any restrictions,
Yeah,
other than time and I guess my own budget. But um, yeah, so it's a great freedom. It's liberating. It is an escape. It's fun. And the best part is it's led me to meet so many great new people, such as yourself. Some
Thank
of
you.
my new best friends in life I've discovered through toy collecting and toy photography and Mythic Legions. And yeah, so it's been amazing. And I'm super grateful that this found me. And, I've just been having a blast.
Yeah, also because you got many treasure. The first treasure is your creativity, your ideas that you can find if you follow your freedom, like you says. Another treasure, the friends that you got with that. No, also in this community, for example, I when I start, I remember now I start to collect mythic legions 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because my first interview with CB,
Mm,
and because I dreamed that I had after my interview with CB. And then I start to collect not only figures but friends about this community, and
yeah,
it's really cool. Also
that's
because
the best
I
part.
talk,
Yeah,
yeah, I talk with that with my friend sometimes, not because he says you are friend only the people you meet every day, but it's not like that in my opinion, because the friendship, the real friendship, is a connection of thinking, of something, of feelings and think, no, not just.
sure.
So because of that, you can become friend also virtually with other people, no. For example, I'm in Italy. Every friends that I got with this channel are from US, no, like people of Legions, but like Shatimus Prime, we are close friend now because we are both musician. We did the project of Mythic Legion song. We have another project now. And you found interesting people. I become friend with William Stout. No, interesting people.
Cool.
But because you find a connection, and this is another cool treasure. But there is
Yeah.
someone that got a treasure in one of your pictures, and I figure they like so much.
Another
He's a mean
smooth segue.
little, yes, a mean little bad guy, and he's Snag. Let's take a look. This pictures is awesome. Hope you put the light in the treasure because you represent also the desire of snagging this time and the surprise at the same time. Tell me something about it.
Yeah, this was again, this is nothing uncommon with this line that you may see a figure that doesn't necessarily instantly reach out to you, and for some reason, whatever reason, Snag was one of them. I love the goblins, but he was one that for some reason I just didn't necessarily felt I had to get. And when I finally did, I was like, what the hell was wrong with me? Now he's my favorite, and I just love so much character with him. Yeah, and he just seemed like the perfect guy to sneak in and find a treasure chest that he's going to pilfer. So again, just setting the stage, telling the story. This was a treasure box from, oh God, what's that game? I should know. My son used to play it constantly. Oh, I can't remember. It's a massive online game that kids are super huge into. Again, someone in the chat will remember, but it was just a treasure chest from their line that I painted up a little bit. And then, yeah, I just was able to stick a little loom cube down in there and light to reflect the light up onto him. And then I just put the gold coins and things in there in Photoshop. So
Cool.
yeah, he's just sneaking into a castle at night down in the dark dungeons of it where they might be hiding some of their treasures, and he's discovered it, and he's got that big old shit-eating grin on his face.
I
He's going to
believe
be
also
filling up
that,
his
that
sack and sneaking away.
Snag is the right man to find treasure somewhere, to steal treasure somewhere. No.
Yes, and I think that skull that's in the foreground there. On the left is the one from the Stone Troll, his big club.
Ah, cool.
So
Yeah.
that's just, yeah, kind of helps, sort of fill out some of that negative space there. Fortnite, thank you. Yes.
Thank you. I'm TJ Williams.
Yeah, of course. I don't know how I could forget that, but
So you can't escape something now because was request during the chat. You know that if you are mythic
I,
related
I
guest,
don't think Mike's on anymore, but
you need to sing something. So as usual, I put I believe that I have right here the lyrics, so everybody also at home can
I can
sing
sing
that
along. All right.
like a karaoke. So I sing one time for you to remember the melody, and then you go along with the song. You find your allegiance when you got your faction. You find emotion into a magic world. And now, Nate, you find your
legions when you got your faction. You find emotions to a magic world. How'd I do? Mike
you got it.
Casper, I love you, buddy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. He's
So
probably
let's
not
see.
even on anymore.
Oh, there is
Yeah,
162.
Never singing it. He's the real singer.
He's a good singer. Remember when we did
He's in
the
a
3
band.
million, the 3 million views celebration of the channel? And by the way, remember the views that I got right now? Let's see how many views there are, because
Yeah, that was a fun
not so
night. We were all
far
on together.
ago. Yeah, it was 43 millions. But now the channel, speaking of views, let's see, is if I able also to share it. This is a narcissist moment, let's see, of my show.
Thanks, Laura and Joe.
We can share the number of views now, because that means the 4 million views is not really far from now. So let's share that. A few moments to share with you, because the 4 millions is coming. The 4 million show. I don't know how many weeks I need to do that.
That's incredible. 4 million, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, let's see. Not right now. Not right now. We have in the channel. I need to zoom in a little bit. Let's see.
3.7.
Maybe this now it's too big.
3.7.
Yes, it's 3 million. Is 3,798,386. So I'm close to 3,800,000. So
yeah,
that means other 200,000, and it's time to do another Mythic Legions party for the 4 millions.
Yes, got to do it. So take care of that girlfriend though first.
Yeah. My girlfriend, I don't know if she's in the kitchen, because she's a beautiful as a cooking. No, I love lasagna. I love cake. The tiramisu is an Italian cake. Super.
Oh, I love tiramisu. Yeah.
Tiramisu is she is awesome to do that.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
But she appears in my show only when she is. Let's see if I maybe she's not really happy. But if I find something with her in my videos, I need to do a big research, because we did something about. However, I need to search. I upload too many videos, so over 6,000 videos is too much.
Yeah. I don't know when you sleep. Like you said, you sleep 12 hours because you don't sleep in between.
Yes, I sleep 12 hours because the 2 days previously I slept one day only 2 hours because I had something to do in the morning. A nightmare to me, because I love the night. You want to appear in the show?
Come on, let's see.
She's upset because I talk about her. I don't know why. She's always upset with me. However, yes, many people love lasagna. Me too. I'm a big fan of lasagna.
Yes.
I can build a lasagna fan club.
Love
and
it.
She stays in the other room. Enough. Be quiet to talk about that. Enough. She says. So before to say goodbye of this awesome episode, tell me, there is a figure of Mythic Legions that you haven't now, that you miss for whatever reason, and you are looking forward to find in some way?
Um. Well, I'm excited. We're getting Gorgo because he would have been up there. Um. I've always wanted a scapular. I don't have a scapular. Jorand. There's a handful. Yeah.
I have
I
Jordan. I have Jordan.
do. Yeah. Yeah. He looks awesome. I'm excited. We're getting that. I think it's the same head in the head pack we're getting. It's of
Yeah,
course
he's a
painted a little
young
different, but
Jordan, that one. He's a young
yeah.
Jordan because it's a brown beard.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for that because I love that sculpt. But
I
yeah,
got
I don't really hunt those figures. You know, they're kind of out of my price
let's
range.
see.
So
Another of your
scapular.
co-hosts appears now, Bill.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
And by the way, on I believe April 15, the Darkley will be my guest. So
Oh,
save
nice,
the date.
awesome.
Because I got you. I got Trevor. Trevor was my guest in late 2021, October 2021 for the first one of the first one
Cool.
of the Mythic War. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
good
You
deal.
will sing. You will
I'll be
sing as
tuning
well.
in. Yeah, warm up those pipes, Bill.
Yeah. So I think that it's time to remember to everyone to where the people, the name of your Instagram page is Coronafor. That's right.
Yep.
So everybody, I think everybody in the chat know where it can find your pictures right now.
Yep. And I usually when I post them on Instagram the next day, I'll post them on the Cabal usually too. So
So the people.
I bounce back and forth between those two places. Yeah, and all the subgroups they're within. Yeah.
So a reminder to everybody: next week on Saturday, 9 p.m. will be a Cosmic Legions reaction of the wave with the guests confirmed are Eric LeBron, Eric Miller, and Curtis Ackerman. But maybe will be other guys. Only customizer in that show, and only customizer that doesn't work for the studio because they want have a reaction of a fan, but not people that know everything.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, that's an awesome trio. They're great dudes.
Yeah, Laura. Some maybe in the next episode she will not next week right here because we live in two different houses. But you can see my girlfriend in some videos.
All right, I'm gonna look for her.
So let's move to the piano to the outro of the show. If you love Mythic Legions, you know that there is an awesome photographer, and his name is Nate Strong, my friend as well. Don't forget to watch his amazing Mythic photos. And my friends, don't forget to subscribe and the notification bell because more is coming. Also for my Mythic Legions custom. So thank you to all of you, and thank you, Nate, to be on my show tonight. So Nate, thank you so
Bravo,
much.
bravo. Thank you, Mr. Allen. It was a blast.
Bravo is also Italian word, so
Very fitting. Yes, apropos.
exactly. So thank you to all of you. Thank you, Nate. See you next week with yes, an awesome episode. And take care, everybody. And see you next week with many customizers to talk about this Cosmic Legion's new wave. So long, everybody, and bye bye to